Now let's see if that helps. Sound should be turned on now. So when you come in, let me know if you're getting anything this time. I'm not sure why it wasn't working before. The mic is turned on and everything's fine. I have sound. Yay! Hi, Tracy. Welcome. Thank you, Loretta, by the way. This has been a crazy, crazy weekend. Hi, Lisa. Good to see you. Hello again, Loretta. I'm glad you're back. Hi, Joe. Welcome back. Hi, Annie. Good to see you. Can't stay. I'm sorry you're not feeling well, Annie. I hope you get better. Stay in bed as much as you can. That's what I did when I had it, and it made a lot of difference. Hello, Thankful Heart. Wonderful to see you. Hi, Ruth. How you doing today, girl? Well, it's been crazy here, I'll tell you for sure, Joe. I've had some good things happen, and I've had some frustrating things happen. And some interesting things happen, too. One of the really good things happening is my dad had a really good day a couple of days back, and I happened to be there, and we were talking, and he has told me to get a, what's it called? Power of attorney drawn up so that I can take care of all of their banking and medical and everything else. So I'm very excited about that. Now I have to go online to the legal site that I have and see if they have a power of attorney blank that I can use to fill out and get him to sign. I'm very excited about that because things are getting kind of crazy. We did take both parents to the doctor, and Dad definitely has been diagnosed now with dementia. Mom has been diagnosed with a pre-dementia something. I'm not sure exactly what it's called as a name that's about this long, but she's still determined she does not have dementia and will not allow anyone to say she has dementia. So we're taking it one day at a time as far as that goes. I took her to the grocery store on Friday, and while we were there, the flower department in that particular grocery store had some beautiful, beautiful orchids on sale. And I got one for myself and one for them. And when my dad found it, Mom told him that I had purchased it for him, which I thought was really sweet. But he woke her up this morning. He had gotten up, gotten dressed, made himself a cup of coffee, and he woke her up and told her he wanted her to get up and call me. He wanted to take me out to breakfast as a thank you for my getting the flowers for them. Hi, Susanna. It's good to see you. If y'all want to hold on for a second, I'll get you my flower and show you what he was so thrilled with. I am so thrilled with this thing, I don't know what to do. Isn't that beautiful? I have not seen this pretty an orchid in a long time. And the one I got for them was just as pretty, also all white. And they were only $10 a piece, which I just couldn't believe. So anyway, Dad was thrilled. So they took me out to breakfast this morning as a thank you for getting them a flower. I thought that was sweet. But what amazed me was that he got himself up early, got himself dressed. And when Mom woke up, he was ready to go right then. He wanted to come get me and take me to breakfast. And she said, no, we'll let Kate come to us. So she called me, and I got up and got dressed real quick, and we went out to breakfast, and then ran by a different grocery store because she couldn't find the right kind of cat food at the one we went to on Friday. And she got her cat food and went home, and it turns out her cat doesn't like that one either. Thrifty, you're in California. Girl, you're all over this country. What's going on? That's so neat. You get to travel everywhere. Yeah, Joe, it's especially good because most of this past week, he has not gotten out of bed at all unless I went over and just pestered him into doing it. So far, I seem to be able to get him to do things when he doesn't want to do it for anyone else, which is good. Yeah, Loretta, I thought it was a wonderful price too. $10 for an orchid of that shape and size is just amazing. Your daughter asked you to come and help her in California. Ah, how nice. Are you going to be there for a while, Thrifty? Or are you just there for a few weeks? Or what are you going to, or am I being too nosy for my own good? Feel free to tell me to leave you alone if I'm getting into your business too much. I tend to do that from time to time. The last ones I got like that were last year at Easter, and I found some really pretty purple orchids that were just a little bit smaller than that one, but just as pretty. And I got them, and they were also $10 a piece. So apparently that's a pretty common price around here until you get the problem solved. Well, I know you're going to enjoy spending some time with her, especially since she's in California. You're on the other end of the country completely. So you just enjoy her as much as you can. I've got to call both of my daughters today. I haven't talked to either one of them in a couple of weeks. So I need to call them. I have talked to my other two kids, David's daughter and son. I've talked to both of them this week. So, let's see, sometimes they don't want to get up. You keep your dad busy so he doesn't just sit or lay down. That's what I'm trying to do, Joe. That's exactly what I'm trying to do, is keep him up and going, doing something. Oh, your daughter loves orchids. I do too, Loretta, but I'm just not good at keeping them alive. Everybody that I know of around here that has them says that I'm probably overwatering them. I need to get one of those old-fashioned square ice trays and give them 1 or 2 cubes of ice one time a week, and that should be enough. So let's hope it works. But the getting the power of attorney will be really good when my parents are okay with it. Yes, I agree, Ruth. I had talked to them before, and Mom was okay with it, but Dad wasn't. But now that he realizes that the dementia is getting worse, he's decided that he wants me to have one also. The other reason he decided was because Mom has been going through the mail, and she opens them and then puts them in little stacks according to what day each of them came in, but she's not opening them and reading them. And we found out last Thursday that their electricity and water were going to be turned off by Friday if we didn't get 3-month-old bills paid. Well, I had no idea that she was not paying them. And so I talked to her and I talked to Dad, and they both said that they didn't want to keep dealing with the money anymore. They were ready to give that chore over to me. So today I'm going to spend some time online trying to find a good power of attorney form and get it filled out. And then hopefully Monday I can find a notary that will come to the house, and then we can get it all signed and notarized. And I don't know how I have to register it. I'll have to look that up too. But I already have the medical power of attorney, and then I'll have the general power of attorney. And I am the, what's it called? I'm the person that's in charge of their whole estate when each of them die. I forget the name of that one right now, but I'm doing that too. So that'll give me the ability to take care of them no matter what happens. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm hoping so, Joe. I'm hoping that there will be a notary somewhere here in town that will come to the house, and then I'll just have a couple of my friends drop by that Mom and Dad both know and get them to sign as witnesses, and then the notary can take care of it all, and then we'll be legal, and I don't have to worry about that. I'm also doing real well on the legal forms for David's estate. I got some more of the information this past week, and hopefully very soon the application to make the administrator of the estate will be finished and ready to be signed, and we'll take it from there. But I'm getting all kinds of wonderful things doing now. So let's see. Post takeover 2020, most are doing house calls now. So that's one. Oh, very good. All right. That's good to know, because I really would like to have somebody come out. I don't want to try and get Dad up. He gets so confused. He would get up and understand, but by the time we got in the car and started on our way to wherever it was, he wouldn't understand what we were doing. And then who knows, by the time we got there, he'd probably have decided it was a bad idea and someone's trying to steal his money. So Dad is having some confusion on those things. Metal. I can't believe it. Metal for breakfast. I love your little eyeball icons there. Those are great, and welcome. It's been too long since I've seen you, young man. I'm glad you're here for at least a little while today. Now, the only place I know where there are notaries are at the banks and the attorney's office. Hello, Lori. Good to see you too. So I'm not sure where I'll find. I guess I'll look up notaries, traveling notaries, or something like that, and see what's around. My older daughter may know too. I'll give her a call and see if she has any ideas. Oh, you were lurking though. No wonder I didn't know you were here. Well, when you come in, you shouldn't lurk. You should let us know you're here so that we can at least not worry that you're missing. Oh, goodness, that is a bit on the bitter side. I have tried something new from Sunkissed. It's called Liquid Water Enhancer. And this flavor is tangerine and passion fruit. The light is so bad, I'm not sure you can see it, but it has a good flavor, except it's a bit on the bitter side. So until I get used to drinking it each time, it makes me make funny faces. So y'all pardon me. You know, I don't know what Discord is, Joe. I have no clue what Discord is. Is that another thing like this one, or is it? I don't know. I may have heard of it, but I know that Brett's always talking about various formats that he uses, but Discord, I don't think is one that I've played with or even checked into. Discord is great. Well, tell us about it, Metal. I don't know anything about it. It's like a chat room with zero censorship. You know, that sounds good until you get somebody in there that wants to make trouble, and then what? How do you handle that? I know on here, if somebody makes trouble, I can kick them off, but can you do that on Discord? And that's something else. For years, all the time I've been on Facebook and I can't even think what this is. My mind, my brain is crazy. Anyway, as long as I've been online, you can kick them out. Okay. I've never had no trolls come in at all. And now all of a sudden, YouTube, that's the word. All of a sudden on my YouTubes, I get 1 or 2 trolls every week. I don't know where they are. I thought, you had to have a lot of followers, a lot of folks out there coming on, but apparently not, because I don't have anywhere near even half of what I had on the old channel. And all of a sudden, I'm getting trolls. Yes, what Joe says. You can kick them off. We only invite vetted people if we can. Oh, so you invite people to come to it, that people just don't wander around and find you on there, but you have to actually invite them. Do you have to invite them each time you go on, or do you just make one invitation and keep adding people to that, or how does that work? No trouble on it. I can boot trouble on there. People do whatever, whenever. It's zero censorship. That's interesting. Shadow Dancer, wonderful to see you. Welcome, welcome. Thank you very much. I'm doing quite well. I was telling everybody my parents gave me a call early this morning and said I had to come over because they were taking me to breakfast as a thank you for I bought them a very pretty orchid plant, and my dad was thrilled with it. So, hi, Michigan Daffodil. You're not late. We have a rule on this channel. You can't be late. As long as you're here, you're not late. So you're here, so you're not late. It's the people that don't come here that are late. Then they're only late till they pick it up on replay. Sometimes it's a bit salty, but usually Loretta makes sure we remain well behaved. Good for you, Loretta. I'll have to check it out. Loretta, can you send me an email with the information so I can find them and maybe come visit? I would appreciate it if you did. I'll check it out now that I have some extra time in the evenings. I have some time to go and do some more research. Maybe I'll find something I like better, or at least as well that I can do on another night. Thank you. I appreciate it, Loretta. Well, I can now report that after 3 weeks in their new chicken coop, my chickens absolutely love it. They're doing beautifully. I'm getting anywhere between 3 and 5 eggs a day, and they're just as happy as they can be. I sat out in their coop last night for a while, and I just sat down on the step going into their coop, and I had little chickens all huddled around and wanting love and wanted to get on my lap and let me pet them, and they're really liking being in their new coop, and I think that's great. So let's see. Let's see. You like North American Arms Mini Revolver now? Oh, okay. Thank you, Joe. I appreciate it. And thank you, Metal, for welcoming me. I'm excited to try a new one. Well, Susanna, if you need some help with pressure canning, I've done a boatload of it, so I'd be happy to help you if you would like. I mean, I'm not sure how much we can do, but if nothing else, we can get on the phone and talk. I could talk you through. Oh, Loretta is too. Excellent. Excellent. Hi, Gary. Good to see you. Walking on the property. I can't get that far away from my house or I lose contact. Although I've never tried walking out on the land, just listening through my phone, that would probably work. Yeah. Or both of us. We'll get a 3-way call going and we can all talk. Oh, I also had a really nice thing happen last Thursday night. I was on Brett and Amy's live stream, and there was a lady there who had some baby chicks that she had just hatched out for a friend, and the friend ended up not wanting them, and she had 6 little chicks. And I told her that if it turned out that she couldn't find anyone who wanted them, I would love them because I want to grow my flock. And it looks like we may be doing something about possibly giving me 6 more chicks to go within the 10 chickens I already have. So that would be very exciting. And there's plenty of room in the chicken coop and the run for them. So let's see what happens. Let's see. Nothing better than farm fresh eggs. Beautifully colored. The yolks taste so good. Shadow Dancer, if you really like farm fresh eggs, you should get a chance if you can to try farm fresh duck eggs. I love chicken eggs, there's no doubt about it, but duck eggs are so much richer, and I personally think they taste awesome. So if you have a chance to try them, please do, because they are really, really good. You can do what on Discord, Metal? Everybody get on there and press your can together. Good. I'm glad you try it, Shadow Dancer, because I'll tell you what, they are wonderful and they're really good in baking. Have I ever made any type of candy? Oh, honey, I've made so many different kinds of candy. You just wouldn't believe. I've made brittles, I've made divinity, I've made fudges, I've made hard candy, I've made lollipops, I've made Martha Washington chocolate drops, just all kinds of things like that. Let's see, Heather. Oh, yeah, okay. Please do, Shadow, because it's wonderful. If you were close, I'd give you some of mine because my two little ducky girls are doing a good job. I get at least one egg from each of them every day. And that's something else I want to do is grow my flock of ducks because I like ducks. I think they're great. Voice chat as a group. Cool. Now, Metal, if it's just voice, do you see the people or do you just hear? Divinity is almost like a meringue kind of candy. It's a very light, airy candy, but you have to be real careful with it, and you can only make it when there's not a lot of humidity in the air, and it's not too hot, and it's not too cold, and that kind of stuff. So it is. I can do it that way too. Your text only, no mic. Oh, okay. Oh, this may be a good deal. Cool. One of the easiest things to make, and it's really kind of a cheating uh, way to make fudge, is I take 1 can of the Betty Crocker chocolate icing, like you put on cakes and stuff. I take about 2/3 of it out of there and I mix it with the same amount of creamy peanut butter. And you just mix and mix and mix until it's well together. Put it in a pan and put it in the refrigerator for about 45 minutes to an hour to let it get good and cold. Then you could slice it with a butter knife and you have delicious fudge, and it takes almost no effort at all. So another one I like to do is a chocolate peanut butter fudge where you use um, powdered sugar or icing sugar, as some people call it, um, vanilla, uh, Dutch cocoa, and peanut butter, and just a smidgen of milk to get it wet. Mix those all together, except the milk. Mix all the dry ingredients, and then put a half to 3/4 of a stick of butter, depending on how much of the other ingredients you have, and a cup or so of peanut butter in the microwave at 30 seconds at a time and stir it until it gets melted together. Pour that over the top, mix it up and put it in the pan and cool it off. And that's another really good chocolate peanut butter fudge. So that's 2 cheating fudge recipes that are easy to do. And people think they're wonderful. They just think they're awesome. Loretta, I was going to ask you, how did you do with your surgery? Are you feeling okay now? Goodness gracious. We got 11 here and only 9 thumbs up. Those of y'all that haven't put your thumb up yet, stick them up in the air. We need YouTube to know that y'all are supporting us. Okay. By the way, now that y'all are talking about canning and stuff, my Walmart here has a huge supply of pint and quart cans, both the wide mouth and the normal or regular mouth. And I picked up 2 dozen pint jars, wide mouth, for $10 per dozen. So hard candy, Lori, hard candy tastes is good, but it takes a lot longer. It's easiest to do if you have a candy thermometer because you have to get it to what's called hardball stage. And thank you, Metal. And if you have a thermometer, you just keep cooking it on a medium to low until it gets to the point where it's um, ready to, and then you let it cool and it gets hard as it cools. I've also made several different kinds of taffy. And the fun part of taffy is stretching the taffy. Oh, you have candy thermometers. Excellent. Excellent. I made, when I was a kid, I used to make vinegar taffy, which sounds really strange, but it's wonderful flavor. And we cooked it and cooked it and cooked it and then let it cool down enough so that it could be handled and stretched it, folded it over on itself, stretched again, did that several times until it just got too cold to do that with. And then we take a knife and cut it into pieces that are about an inch and a half long and about as big around as your index finger. Wrapped it in parchment paper and kept it in the fridge. And you had wonderful, wonderful taffy, hard taffy, not chewy taffy. And they're wonderful. You love watching when they stretch the taffy on the wall hook. That's fun too, but we didn't have a wall hook, so we got to do it by hand, or my dad and I would often make it together, and he would take one side and I'd take the other. And he'd hold it and I'd stretch it. But vinegar taffy is really quite good. It tastes very much like a honey taffy, and it's quite good. So taffy can be fun. I haven't made salt water before. Oh, caramels are good too, and very easy, depending, of course, on whether you want a solid, hard caramel or if you want like a caramel syrup or you want something like a caramel ice cream topping. They're all easy to do. So biggest thing on caramels is that when you're making them, don't burn the butter. Because once you burn the butter, then the caramel does not taste good anymore. And if you're just looking for a caramel sauce instead of a caramel candy, you can take one of those small cans of sweetened condensed milk and put it in the oven and cook it in the oven at 300 degrees for about an hour. And when you take it out and open it, you've got caramel sauce inside. It's really, really good. Taffy stretching is fascinating. Yeah, it is. And it's a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun if you're doing it with somebody that you like or that you could joke with, because Daddy always kept us just in stitches. Hello, Ellie McAfee. It's good to see you. Well, that's okay because for the first few minutes, I didn't have any sound. I had to sign off and come back in, and I don't have any idea why I didn't have it or where it went or what I did to make it come back. But when I signed back in, it worked. So I'm glad you're here. And you can hear me now. We're talking about candy making and doing live streaming on a platform called Discord. So if you have experience on either of those, please chime in. Grandma's so happy. I have not seen you in forever. How are you, sweetie? I am so glad to see you. Yeah, I'm glad it's working too, Ellie. I thought maybe I was going to have to cancel it, but it came back, so it was wonderful. Yeah, let's see. Hercules Candy. I love watching their stuff, especially when they're making the Christmas candies. That is so fascinating. Stop talking about taffy. You're still full from breakfast. Oh, that's funny. Okay. You know, Joe, when I told you that my folks took me out to breakfast, I tried something today I've never tried before. And I think if it's cooked right, it would be really good. I had never had eggs Benedict before. And when they brought them out, it looked really good. But the minute my fork touched the egg, the outside skin of the egg let go and it was not cooked inside at all. It was barely warm. Your experience is eating candy, huh, Gary? That's great. That is great. Oh, I am so, Bonnie, I'm so glad that you're counting your blessings. That's a wonderful thing to do. Here, have a pin on the map cake. Um, the only one that may not be is Grandma's So Happy, and I don't, I don't think she does. Grandma's So Happy. What we've got back here is on this big map behind my head. We have a pin, a map pin for everybody. And if you are not on there, please give me the name of a large city close to you so I can find you on the map. And I have all of the basic colors. I've got red, yellow, blue, green, and white. So give us a pin color and a city, and we'll get you up on our map if you're not there already. And that goes for anyone else who might be here that's not on the map. But just let us know. Ribbon candy is fascinating, isn't it, Lori? I like eating it too. I love ribbon candy. It's just gorgeous. I get every year. I get a large box, about the size that oatmeal used to come in. Those big round tape cardboard boxes. I get one of those full of ribbon candy every year. Gary, I liked the flavor. Whoever did the hollandaise did a beautiful job with it. It could have used just a tiny bit more lemon, but I'm just picky about those kinds of things. But the eggs were just underdone, and I told the waitress to please mention to the cook that they needed to be careful when they're making the poached eggs because when they were as undone as mine were, they are very unappetizing. And she gave me the breakfast for free, and I have most of it in there in the refrigerator. And I'll probably pop it in the microwave and finish cooking the eggs and have a good breakfast later tonight. Well, this was, Lori, this was my very first experience with Eggs Benedict. And I think once the eggs are properly done, I will probably really enjoy it because I love hollandaise, I love ham, I love English muffins. I like everything that goes into it. It's just today the eggs were really not well done at all. So, but it was a free breakfast, so how can I complain? And really, when I was talking to the waitress, I wasn't complaining. I just wanted her to mention to the cook so that he would know that raw eggs may be good in some places, but they're not good on Eggs Benedict. They just aren't. On the rare occasion you go to a sit-down restaurant, you do either bacon cheeseburger or you'll put Chinese buffet out of business. Well, Joe, we have a Chinese buffet in the next little town up from us. So it's about, I guess, 8 or 9 miles from us. And on their lunch and dinner menu, they have peel your own shrimp. And I love shrimp. And I will go and I will eat until I'm just sick. One time I counted the number of shrimp that I sat down and ate from that peel your own, and I had 43 shrimp before I was ready to stop. So the next time I went in, I discovered that they no longer had peel your own shrimp on the lunch menu, only on the dinner menu. So, oh well. Yeah, Ruth, that's what I'm thinking. Just because I do a mean egg, so I may just put that on top of all the rest of it. So, um, Joe, just recently, the Sonics here in town had a cheeseburger that I absolutely fell in love with and didn't realize when I ordered it that it was only going to be a 1 month long promotion. But they did a garlic butter bacon cheeseburger that was out of this world. Oh, it was so good. Of course, I love garlic anyway, and garlic butter on a bacon cheeseburger just was perfect for me. And I had three of them that month, and had I known it was only going to be one long, I would have had more than that. So, oh well. Hello, Celtic Bear. Good to see you. Welcome, welcome. Uh, you haven't made eggs Benedict in a long time. You need to use your duck eggs on it. Yes, I agree, Gary. We were talking about duck eggs and how good they are. 4 years last sit down. Well, when my folks call me and invite me out to breakfast, they get to choose where we go. So that's where we went. I don't know that I've ever had their pretzels, Laurie. I I eat some things there that are really not good for you, but I really love them. I like to have their corn dogs. I love corn dogs, and I like their corn dogs, and I like their Frito pie, which is Fritos and hot chili poured on top with onions and lots of cheese. And they're both good. They're not good for me, so I don't eat them often, but every once in a while I do. Oh, it was, Ellie. It was so good. It just, like I said, if I had realized it was only going to be there for a month, I would have gone at least once a week and had one. I'm going to turn my straw over. I think it has a hole in the bottom end. I like burgers too, Joe, but so far I've not found a single place that makes a burger as good as mine. I know that sounds stuck up and conceited, but I make a pretty mean burger, and that's because I put a lot of things on it, and even some things in it, depending on who I'm cooking for. So, oh yeah, I'm sure hollandaise is hard to make. It sometimes it just nothing you can do. It breaks, and you might have done everything perfect, and it breaks anyway. But I love hollandaise. A good hollandaise is just hard to beat. It really is. Amy, welcome, welcome, welcome. Well, tell her if she's still there, tell her I said hi. Cheeseburger? What kind of cheese, Lori? Time for a burger video, Kate. Oh well, I wouldn't have to. I wouldn't have to edit that, so maybe we can do that. Maybe we can do that, Ruth. I'll have to see if I've got the stuff in the fridge to make one. And if since I can't video it and then upload it, I'd have to do it live, and I just have to tell everybody come join me while we make burgers. You use reusable straws; they don't get holes in them, especially this time. You're right, Thrifty. This is not supposed to be a reusable straw, but it is because I get other drinks and I just keep my straws and rinse them out and do them again. And candy videos too. All right. Even the cheater ones where all you use is peanut butter and icing from the store. I've never heard of adding the boiling water, Celtic. That's a wonderful idea. I just throw it away and start again. But then I taught myself how to make it. I've never been to any kind of culinary class or school other than the classes that I've taught other people. So I'm glad to know that. Just drizzle a little in while you're whipping it, or what? Hmm. Okay. Looks like I'm going to have to do something. I get my thumb up for the burger video. Okay, Ruth. I'll have to get some burger buns first. Go to burger making video. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Celtic. I will try that. Because like I said, when mine breaks, I just throw it away and start from the beginning again. It's good to know it can be rescued. Well, Joe, I know last week, pardon me, I got a kitty cat hair in my eye. That's what happens when you cuddle cats. Um, anyway, last week I was talking to y'all and I got on the scales this week and I have gained 20 pounds since David died. So I have got to stop eating and start trying to lose some of this. It's just getting to be too much. Bacon blue cheeseburger. Well, if you like blue cheese, that would be really good. I like provolone or a Swiss or a really, really, really old hard cheddar. Candy like a Heath bar. I don't do those bars like that. I guess I could. I've just never tried. Mostly because when you make the smaller pieces, you can hide one in your hand and walk away and nobody can see you. Pop it in your mouth and they don't know you're eating it. You still get the calories, but at least other people don't witness it. So, okay, bread pudding. I have made bread pudding before. As a matter of fact, that's one of the things I like to do most when have made bread and it's starting to go bad. But I've been thinking about doing some experimentation with a more savory bread pudding rather than a sweet bread pudding, simply because I have been making rosemary bread lately. I love rosemary bread, and I've been thinking about, because I keep making it and some of it goes bad, I've been thinking about trying, see what kind of bread pudding you can make with a savory recipe. I'm not sure. Vermont cheese, Celtic, what is Vermont cheese? What is that? Is that a cheddar or a Gouda or what? Do you make yours plain meat and add things to it, or do you squish up other things and put them in there? Yorkshire pudding. Okay. I will try that. Is that like a bread pudding, Celtic? I don't know anything about Yorkshire pudding, so I really don't know. I'll have to look up a recipe, but it's worth trying. Okay. Would it be good with rosemary bread? Okay, I got a Yorkshire pudding. I've got burger video and candy making videos. You guys are determined I'm going to get that kitchen cleaned out. I took everything apart trying to reorganize, and I have not gotten it back together. So if I'm going to do that, I'm going to have to, if I'm going to do videos, I'm going to have to finish cleaning it and get it put back together. So, all right. Rosemary and black olives, that is very good. I like rosemary with black olives. I like black olives, so that would be a good one for me too. What does it take to make homemade burger buns? Susanna, I make homemade burger buns with a potato bread recipe. They're very good. They're very easy to make, and the recipe I have makes a bunch of stuff, so it's good. Pepperoni and cheese pull-apart bread. The only pull-apart breads I've ever made were sweet, and you use biscuit dough or rolled biscuits from the store, and you cut them into quarters, and then you put a layer of the biscuit stuff, and then you put down sugar and cinnamon and nuts if you want them, and I usually put brown sugar, and then another layer of the cut up biscuits, and keep making that layers until you get to the top of the pan. And I usually do it in a bundt pan, and when it's all cooked, I put a plate on top, turn it over, and take it off, and it's wonderful, and all of that brown sugar with the butter just kind of melts and goes down to the bottom, and it's out of this world. But I don't make it too often because it's so fattening, and I'll eat the whole thing. It's awful. Your grandmother used to make a bread pudding during the Depression. You still haven't found anybody that can make it that good. Thrifty, have you heard of Hillbilly Kitchen? She has a really good bread pudding recipe from the Depression, and you might try that. You need to practice bread making. You can make hockey pucks, bread rolls. Well, Amy, a lot of what I have found is good about making bread that's not heavy like that is I put almost a third more my brain just went crazy. Almost a third more of the yeast in it than they call for, and I usually let it sit and proof Most people want you to proof it at least 10 minutes, and I always proof mine for at least half an hour. That gets the yeast going and bubbling, and it makes it better. Where did I saw something about monkey bread? Okay, sure. You've watched Great Depression cooking. Oh yeah, that's good too. Yeah, Laura, Great Depression is excellent. Good. Celtic, I've made monkey bread many times. It's wonderful. Big Family Homestead video. Yeah, they're pretty good too. Add cream to bread pudding mixture. Okay. The cream is, you mean to what you mix with all the pieces of bread before you put it in the pan? Oh yeah. Okay. If you're talking about what Lori's talking about, it is like a custard filling that goes around all the bread, and that is delicious. Ellie, thank you for coming by. I really appreciate it, and we've loved having you here, and we'll see you next week. Have a great week. Yes, I like watching Clara too. She was a very fun lady, as well as having some marvelous information about cooking back when things were very scarce, like they may be getting again. So, if you haven't watched her, Clara is a wonderful, wonderful person to watch. You made eggnog French toast at the holidays. Oh, I like eggnog French toast. I'm going to try making eggnog. I've never made my own eggnog before, but I saw a recipe this year and I thought if I wasn't so involved with all the other things going on in my life at that time, I probably would have made some this year. Yep, she was a cool lady. I'm really sorry that she's gone. Celtic, what did you think of her poor man's meal? Amy, I don't necessarily like to drink eggnog, but I like to cook with it. I really, really do like cooking with it. She lived near, oh, how cool, Lori. So does that mean you actually got to meet her? That would be so neat. I'd always thought she was such a nice lady. Okay. Well, I may go back and watch that and make it. I've made several things that she suggested and given recipes for. Mushroom Swiss burgers, those are quite good too. Yeah, I like mushroom Swiss burgers. I like to cut the mushrooms up fairly fine and actually mix them into the meat as well. And I have been known on more than one occasion to cut up the Swiss cheese very fine, make a ball of the meat and mushrooms, put the Swiss cheese in the middle and flatten it down and seal the edges and cook it that way. You like firewater eggnog? I don't think I've ever heard of that one before, Celtic. Oh, you didn't get to meet her. Oh, too bad. Reminds you of your aunt, your grandma. Your aunt had a story similar about her garden. Ah, cool. Metal, it's easy, and if you don't have eggnog, you can do something similar by mixing an egg and milk and cinnamon and vanilla and a little bit of sugar or maple syrup into what you dip your bread in before you cook it. It's really quite good. Hey, birds, that's enough. Sorry about that. Eggnog with cream de mint. That's an interesting idea. I don't think I've ever tried eggnog with cream de menthe on it. Hmm. You had some this holiday season. How cool. I like the eggnog French toast, Amy. I really do. It adds a depth of flavor that you just don't get. I made rum balls years and years ago, Lori, but I don't like rum, so I didn't make it but the one time. And actually, when I made it, it was on a dare from a friend. So I lost the dare because they didn't taste good, and I don't like rum. So that's like the one and only time I tried making a fruit, uh, what do they call them? Bread. Can't even think of it right now. Let me think about that. A cake or a pudding, you put a lot of dry fruits in it and stuff like that. You get them at Christmas time. Anybody know what I'm trying to think of? Oh, spumoni, I love too. I do too. Tim Turner, welcome, welcome. I didn't see you come in. Thank you, Amy. Fruitcake, that's what it is. One and only time I tried to make fruitcake, they were supposed to soak it in rum, and that turned out as bad as the rum balls, so I quit that completely. You made fermented carrots last week. You'll use garlic and dill next time. Okay. Well, Mr. Turner, you sneaked in and didn't say hello, and you haven't said anything back. Are you mad at me? Lori, my mom likes the panettone. She just thinks that's wonderful. I get her one every year for Christmas. But I like spumoni. That's the Italian ice cream. It's got all kinds of good stuff in it, and it's wonderful. When I was very first married, way back a long time ago, I made on most Sundays we had spaghetti dinners for our friends, and I'd just make a huge pot of spaghetti, and then everybody would come over, usually in shifts because we had a lot of folks coming over, and we'd have spaghetti and garlic bread and spumoni for dessert. Brett has a recipe his mom called coffee cake, but it's basically a fruit cake with a little coffee in it. Ugh, no, thank you. No, thank you. Oh, good. I'm glad you're not mad at me, Tim. That's good. Make your own sauerkraut again. You know, Michigan, I made sauerkraut the very first time I made it. It was wonderful, and I absolutely loved it. And the second time I made it, I thought, I'm going to follow a recipe this time and see how it turns out. And it was terrible. It was so awful. So I went back to making it just the way I felt like, and it turns out great every time. A little crazy on the side. Well, Tim, you and I both come from that school of thought. Oh, speaking of mad or a little crazy on the side, I have been binge watching a video, a set of TV shows from a long time called Downton Abbey. And it has been a fascinating, fascinating series. And I'm almost at the end of it, and I'm so sorry it's getting over. I'm going to have to go find something else to watch. But there are some characters in that are definitely crazy on the side, and some of them are even mad. Yeah, Celtic, that's what I did. But when I made it without a recipe, I just kept throwing salt in there and chomping it down with my butter, and it was wonderful. When I followed it by the recipe, there wasn't nearly enough salt, and it didn't ferment, and I was very dissatisfied. So I threw that out and went back to making it the way I did before, and it was great. Burnt hot dogs with sauerkraut. I don't want any hot dog messing up the flavor of my sauerkraut. I can just sit down and eat sauerkraut in a bowl by itself. Of course, I can also do that with avocados. Give me an avocado and a spoon, and I'm a happy girl. I'll just peel the skin off and eat the stuff like crazy. Hello, Linda Jacobs. Wonderful to see you. Lori, thank you. I've just been trying to remember. I started watching All Creatures Great and Small, and I could not remember the name of it. And you're right, it's excellent. I really liked it very much. Always have to put sugar on the store-bought sauerkraut. Homemade, you don't. You like it, but don't love it. It's good for your gut. Yeah, I agree. Call the midwife. Okay, I'll check that one too. Michigan, you're not an avocado kind of girl, huh? Oh, I'm sorry, Susanna. Do watch later, though. Well, Amy, if you want me to start one of those seeds I've got in there on the kitchen sink and make an avocado tree or two for you, I'll start one today. I've tried mine with and without carrots, and I like it both ways, but I really like it best without. Watch it with Dad. You've read all the books. Cool. Well, the All Creatures Great and Small, David and I started watching before he got so sick. And I remember it being really, really a good show, but I haven't seen it since then, so I'll have to find it again. Avocado and black bean brownies. Ooh, that sounds good, Michigan. Avocado and black bean brownies. I'll have to look that one up and see what kind of recipe I can find. That sounds yummy. Come on out of there, Pen. There we go. I just had a thought when I was writing that down. I'm constantly worried since I can't edit videos about just doing them live and thinking that I've got all this room I have to fill up. But it just occurred to me I could do something like the avocado and black bean brownies, and while they're in the oven cooking, I can do a non-baking something as well and do two at the same time. And at the end of the video, have them both done. That's an idea too. Amy, I have had so many avocado trees, I can't tell you. I'm constantly growing them and giving them away. So if you want a couple, I'll start you a couple. And next time we see each other, that'll be something else I'll have to bring to you. Avocado with dressing is good. I like it plain. I don't even put salt on it. You don't care for sauerkraut, Tim? I better, yeah, I think you're right, Laura. I think I better get finished getting that kitchen organized and get everything set up. It sounds like I'm going to have to start doing some videos again. Oh, Michigan, the black bean power is something I live with on a daily basis. I'm the most musical person you'll ever be around, so send it on. Okay. Well, Amy, I'll start a couple for you. I've got 4 or 5 seeds in on the kitchen counter right now that I was trying to decide if I was going to do something with them or not. Yes, I know, Amy. Now I have to find somebody to feed my chickens and all my other birds while I come see you. Pinterest. Okay. North Shore Preparedness. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. You added carrot and fennel. You know, Sean, I don't know anything about fennel. I've seen it, but I don't know anything about the flavor. I don't know how to cook with it. It's interesting. Fennel in a sauerkraut. Huh. I thought fennel tasted like licorice. And I'm not sure I would like licorice in my sauerkraut. Oh, it's the seeds. Okay. Well, what does the plant itself taste like? Or I guess it's a root. I could tell stories or sharpen knives or something while the foods are cooking. I guess I could. Okay, thank you, Michigan. I just don't know anything about fennel. Love all the foods except innards and liver and onions. Do you know, I'm sorry to hear that, Shadow Dancer, because I've got to tell you, when I was a kid, I hated liver and onions, but I like it now very much. Candied fennel. Well, I guess that would taste a lot like licorice, and I like licorice, so I might like candied fennel. I like the way it looks when it's growing. That's what I've been thinking about, is growing some just because I like the way it looks. Tastes more like tarragon. Okay. I have a big bottle of tarragon vinegar that I made about 4 years ago. I was given some tarragon seeds and I grew it just to see what it was. And I had all this beautiful tarragon leaves and didn't know what to do with them. So I shoved them all in a half-gallon jar and poured vinegar over them. And supposedly it's still good. Huh. Oh, goodness. Guys, I just looked up and realized it's an hour. Oh, my. Hope you're enjoying it. Simple 2% salt. You had to eat it when you were a kid. Ah, okay. Roselle hibiscus seeds. I'll have to look around and see. I don't know anything about it. Anise seeds taste. I thought that's where black licorice got its flavor, was from an anise or a leaf. I love hibiscus tea. My youngest sister used to live on the property here, and she had like 8 or 10 different hibiscus plants. And when they would bloom, she'd pull the blossoms and make tea. I do too, Lori. My mother and I used to fight at Easter time about who got the black um, jelly beans, because she liked them and I liked them too. Thank you, Mr. Turner. I appreciate that. Let's see, you're also only about a month from needing to make some more. American licorice is anise or anise. I thought it was. Well, folks, I hate to cut it short, but I've got a ton of stuff sitting in there waiting that I really need to get busy on, especially my kitchen, so I can start doing these videos. So I am going to tell you all goodbye for now. I really appreciate you coming every Sunday and visiting with us. I hope that you are. Oops, Anne. Well, hello, Anne. Welcome, welcome. I'm sorry, but we're getting ready to close down, but I really appreciate you coming in. Love you and miss you too, Amy. And hello, Jenny. It's good to see you too. Anyway, I am going to go. I want you to know that when you're alone and feeling like there's nobody in the world that cares about you, just think about the fact that there's one person in this world that cares about you, and that's me. You take care. Have a wonderful week. Stay safe. Be blessed. I love you. Bye.